As comic readers, we're treated to the finalized versions of costumes. But there are usually other contenders. Sometimes we get to see them, sometimes not, and when we do, it's always interesting to take a look. Today we're going to look at some early Tim Drake Robin concepts, the costume designs that didn't make it, and then we can decide what we think of them. Now, Neil Adams' Robin costume is ultimately the one chosen for Tim Drake. Though when it first debuts, it's drawn by Norm Breyfogle, which is worth noting because he was also asked to pitch several designs. And to add another layer to that, he had an alternate Robin costume from years back that had been published in a comic when he was a teen. So it's all coming full circle. He already had the Robin ideas there. They were ready. He wasn't the only one, but he submitted a lot, so let's take a look at them. We have one here that's called the Basic Robin, and basic in the late 80s and early 90s means lots of pouches and pockets. You even see them on the designs. It's got an arrow to them, pockets. You also see some moments where inspiration is taken from the movie, like the armored boots and gloves. There are also with these pitches and instructions for how some of the things would operate, like how the Robin symbol could come off and it could be thrown like a throwing star. He's also got a staff there, which would end up being incorporated. You got the two color schemes, one's kind of more green, one's darker. Plus, you get some variations on this one, like one with a headband, one with a bandana, and then you get some caped ones, and it feels like some of those elements make it into the final version, like there's some amalgamation that ends up happening. But it must be noted that in general, there's some overlap with a bunch of these just because a lot of people are trying to stick to type for the Robin design, not trying to veer too far. If you're curious about seeing these, a place where you can see a lot of them is in Batman Night Gallery, which came out in 1995. And basically, it's a bunch of concept art, but it does have an overall frame story device, which ends up positioning it in an Elseworlds kind of setting, where it's that these archaeologists have discovered Bruce Wayne's design journal decades after his disappearance, and then they're discovering all of these designs. All the creators are listed like the professors at the end. It's cute. Now, while I said that most stay in the vein of traditional Robin, some veer. Breyfogle has some that veer as well. You've got this black caped version that's intense. It's the most different out of all Breyfogles, and it's leaning more into a mini Batman type look than a Robin one. There's also a red version of that one that looks pretty similar. I swear you can see some of these elements coming down into later designs. Like there's this George Perez one that has wings, which is interesting. People have been trying to give Robin wings for decades. There are a couple more. Let me know if you're interested and we'll come back, but that was a lot of costumes to look at. So let me know what you think of them, which is your fave. Did Tim Drake need more pockets, or was the design they chose the look? Who in general do you think has had a really interesting costume shift?